diet, about their physical activity, about the way that they live their lives. We think that wearables are a key to the MAHA agenda, making America healthy again. And we are going to, my vision is that every American is wearing a wearable within 4 years.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. Following up.
Diet, about their physical activity, about the way that they live their lives. We think that wearables are a key to the MAHA agenda, making America healthy again. And we are going to, my vision is that every American is wearing a wearable within 4 years.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary.
Shalom. Let's start out by giving all glory, praise, and honor to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakha Kwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of the Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elect of Israel. This is the Mime in Atlanta, and you just saw RFK Jr. there talking about how he wants, within the next 4 years, or his vision for the next 4 years, is that every single American will be wearing a wearable. And you hear wearable, and you first go to smartwatches and Apple iWatches or whatever they're called, and you think of that, or Fitbits or whatever. But this is all going into the MOTB, into that implantable RFID micro C-HIP. That's what they want in every American within the next 4 years, and really worldwide. They want this to be a worldwide thing, and this all lines up with their 2030 agenda as well. It'll be in 4 years, it'll be 2029, and they want all these things to come to pass before 2030. And so we're seeing the beginnings of this. We're seeing the technology, and it's out. We're seeing infrastructure being developed for it. We're seeing more and more people actually speaking on this, and this is, as we've said times and times over, the MOTB. This is something that you cannot take at all, and if you don't take it, you won't be able to participate in society. But this society has just a little bit longer until it's no more at all. And if you take it, the Lord won't be picking you up. So there's really not an option to take it, especially if you're in America, because America is going to be nuked. You need to get out via the Lord. That's the only way out. The only way out is up. But yeah, he's talking about the MOTB. He's calling it a wearable, which sounds a lot nicer than an implant, but it's the MOTB. And I was looking down in the comments, and this guy right here, or girl, says a wearable often refers to a smartwatch, but could mean any technology worn on or inside the body to measure health information, like a sticker or patch. A wearable can also be made into clothing. And then he gives some links. And so I clicked this link, Internet of Bodies, and this is what came up. It says biointelligence for international cooperation and security, showing this is going to be worldwide, as it says in Revelation 13, and he calls it all, both small and great, rich and poor. This is going to be worldwide for everybody except the cream of the crop of the elite, or the very top of the elite. It says, what is the Internet of Bodies? The Internet of Bodies is about integrating technology to the human body. So this is the fourth industrial revolution that they're speaking of, transhumanism, that you keep hearing about in this technocracy. They want to integrate your body, your natural body, with their technology, which will make you not a person. It says IoB devices allow direct communication of data from the body through the use of the internet. The term Internet of Bodies was coined in 2016, describing it as a network of human bodies whose integrity and functionality rely, at least in part, on the internet and related technologies such as AI, or artificial intelligence. So they want to mix that's why we're seeing so much AI recently as well. But showing some of the different ways you could have a wearable. And so it's got it as a wearable, external Internet of Bodies devices that can monitor, transmit, collect, analyze, and act on data generated by the body. It can track physical activity, heart rate, sleep patterns, and other health indicators. Some models include GPS tracking, ECG monitoring, and blood oxygen sensors. And so we see these as Fitbits and the Apple Watches and whatever other smart watches they are. But then you come down to implantables. And first, within this image, you're seeing I'm assuming that's a pacemaker. And it says internal implantables, internal devices that are surgically inserted into the body to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead. It says the most recognized example is a defibrillator or pacemaker, a small device placed in the chest region to help patients with heart conditions control abnormal heart rhythms with electrical impulses. You also have ingestibles. This is electronic sensors and computer chips embedded in edible pills. Once swallowed, these digital pills can collect data from our organs and send this data to a remote device connected to the internet. And they do this for certain surgeries nowadays. Ingestibles. IoB ecosystem. This is all data collected from body-worn devices is transmitted to the cloud where it's processed and stored for central monitoring. The system is capable of performing intelligence, storage, control, and analytics to monitor and manage individual health metrics. And I thought it was interesting. He was trying to drill in this point through a fitness perspective or a health perspective, but they're going to be doing this on every perspective of your life. They're going to try to go mind, body, and spirit financially as well, and try to coerce people into taking this. So health-wise, they've got the ones that go in your brain, these brain implants, and a lot of this is actually helping people to walk again or to see again or to hear again. These are the miracles of that beast. They could hit it from a financial level, like never lose your wallet ever again if you just put this device inside you. Hit it for body, again, as RFK was just talking about, with different monitors for your heart or for your blood pressure or for the steps you're taking per day. They could go a lot of different routes to do this, to get this implemented. They're going to be using the celebrities to do it, to make it seem cool, different influencers to make it seem cool. They're going to hit this on every single way. And going back down here to the cloud, the IoB cloud, that just sounds like a hive mind to me, in which a lot of these people are on that same vibration. They all have the same opinions and thoughts on certain things, and it's just going into this total hive mind, just brain dead, really, people that have none of their own thoughts. And it just makes me think of the some article I read a while ago, a year or two ago, and it was talking about how most people don't have a conscious train of thought. They don't have an inner voice. And it was something like 50 to 70% of people. These people are the masses that are going to perish in the coming days. These are really just lives of vanity, because they're not going to come into the truth, which most are heathen and can't. But they're just meant for destruction. They're here to be destroyed. It's crazy. But let's get into the scriptures. This is 2nd Ezra 16 and verse 18. The beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the powers shall stand in fear, the beginning of evils. Evil goes into bad times. It says, what shall I do when these evils shall come? And that's where we're at. We're at the beginning of all these plagues coming onto the earth. We're seeing it with the wars. We're seeing it with what happened back in 2020. We're seeing famine on the horizon and prices increasing. We're seeing a lot of bad times coming to the earth. It says, behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. So the Lord's sending out these plagues, but these aren't the full thing. This is him basically giving you a warning. Hey, listen to my prophets that are giving my word. And it's starting with the apostles and elders of the great millstone. He's telling you, he's giving you a warning, in which the prophets are giving you a warning of what's to come and what needs to be done. First, you need to get the true name of the Heavenly Father, which is Yahweh, and of his Son, Yahweh Shai. You need to get the names, and that'll start getting you on the correct path, because Jesus is not his name. Yeshua is not his name. There's no U's in the Paleo Hebrew. There were no J's. J is the newest letter in the English alphabet, and it's about 400 years old. But also, you don't translate names. These names can't deliver you. There's only one name in which you could be saved. Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. We could see these things happening currently. We're seeing it. I can't believe these other people don't see it. But they're just the blinded. It says, but for all these things they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges. So they're still partying and playing, not thinking about what is coming, which is the end of this world. Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob's the beginning of it that follows. It says, behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon earth, that they shall think themselves to be in good case, and even then shall evils grow upon earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. So prices are still relatively decent, but who's to say those tariffs don't just kick in tomorrow and prices shoot up, or there's some other disease in the eggs or in the chicken and prices just shoot up. These things are all here to warn us. And even then shall evils grow upon earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. We're seeing wars starting. People are starving. It says, for many of them that dwell upon earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy. Because the Lord's sending these plagues for the wicked. And the man shall be cast out as dung, and there shall be no man to comfort them. For the earth shall be wasted, and the cities shall be cast down. We are at the end of this world. But I want to go back to verse 20. It says, but for all these things they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful. Go into these scourges for amendment in verse 19. You can see that the RFID micro CHIP is here, and that the rulers that be, the powers that be, are trying to push that onto the earth. You're supposed to get right and get your mind right on not taking this thing. But most people are blinded and are just going to do whatever keeps their belly full. But this is coming. The MOTB is coming. And once that comes, World War III will really get going. Jacob's Trouble will really get going. Because we're seeing these things evolving and rising up. But this is, nor be always mindful of the scourges. They're not going to turn back. But if you can see this, you should turn back to the Lord. So, Lord willing, that was edifying. I'd like to give all glory, praise, and honor to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham Ukakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of the Great Millstone. Shalom to the elect of Israel. Shalom.